Ready?
Yeah.
All right, welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, episode 38-2. This is Rhythm and Pixels chat, hanging out in the studio. My name is Rob Nichols,
and I'm a hill giant.
and the hill giant of Baltimore,
Apparently,
Pernell.
that's me.
Pernell,
Just stomping around, taking the crabs and eating them. Not even paying for them. Just taking crabs.
just
like
pulling
they're
them
mine.
right out of the bay.
That's right.
Yeah, I love that.
Sitting by, then I gotta get tetanus shots.
Oh, you're
right
talking in the
afterwards.
wrong side of the microphone again, my friend.
That's what makes me.
That's what makes me particularly special. See, giant brain. Giant brain eating giant crabs from a tetanus-infused bay. Just not to let.
Also on the show, we have a special guest who is also going to be on the next episode. We have Chris Taylor.
Who is fortunately not tetanus-infused.
Are you also a hill
Not
giant?
yet.
No, maybe.
No, I'm pretty average. I'm like Texas average. So like just right around 6 foot.
Hey, I don't
But
know.
that's
Maybe it's
I'm like the tallest member of one of my bands and then like the second shortest in another. So kind of averages out.
I wonder if it's a difference between Texas barbecue and East Coast milk. I don't know. We have a lot of chicken plants and dairy
We got more
farms.
growth hormones.
There
Yeah.
it is.
That's what we do out here. It's also all the DuPont plants out here.
That is true. There's a lot of chemicals in our air.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
I'm some kind of mutant freak and I just don't know it yet.
That's why I'm glowing green every night.
There
I
it is.
mean, for a couple of years, I was living like essentially right down the road from where they make those awful cyber trucks. So it's like I know there's something. Those things are putting something in the air.
Ugh. I mean,
It is making
here-
people stupid.
Hearing how they crumble up or whatever, they probably putting plastic into the.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I think the idea of an electric truck is fantastic. I love it. The electric pickup truck, do it. Make a
Yeah.
million of them. But they look awful. And this is coming from a guy I love 80s style future. Like Tron and even like in the Time Cop and like in the early 90s. Like the fake what the future might look like in the year 2005. Like I love that stuff. The Cybertruck looks like I don't know, dumb.
Thing is, I wouldn't even care.
It looks like a stupid
It's like-
game console.
But that's just it. I wouldn't even care if the function was there.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad function.
Like if there was a guy driving down the street in a Cybertruck, and I saw him, and I was like, "Get out of the way of that guy! That truck means business."
Well,
or it's
there's-
self-driving. I don't know.
They've adopted a lot of weird technologies for no reason, like fly-by-wire technology from airplanes, like where you turn the wheel, it doesn't actually turn the wheel. You turn the wheel, and it digitally tells the wheels to turn. Yeah, there's a possible
all-
lag between the wheel turning and your actual wheels turning.
That baffles
It's almost
me.
like the person in charge of the whole thing is a low IQ menace
Yeah,
who specializes in ruining things that didn't need to be messed with at all.
I saw it in a movie.
Yeah, Ellen the Menace. We're gonna call him that. Ellen the Menace.
Ellen the Menace. I missed that cartoon. The real cartoon, mind you, not
Yeah.
Not the one with Ellen.
the one with Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres, the Menace.
It was one of those shows, Dennis the Menace, I mean, where I would watch the theme song and then I would switch the channel as soon as the actual cartoon started. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was just like, this kid's annoying and I don't really like him. I'm kind of on Mr. Wilson's side
Yeah,
here.
I remember I liked the cartoon. I think I liked the cartoon.
I liked all of Dennis's friends
I remember-
and Mr. Wilson.
I remember the cartoon
Yeah.
more than the Dennis the Menace like live show. And there was a
Oh, yeah.
90s like revival movie, wasn't there?
There was, but it had Walter. No, whoa! It had Walter Matthau. You take that back.
Walter
Yeah.
Matthau?
I always called him
It
Matthau.
had It had one of my very favorite practical effects. You don't see it often. It's also in what's the giant plant musical movie?
Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they would film from behind a giant prop mouth. And there was a moment where Dennis the Menace is like, I guess he's slingshotting like a pill or something into Mr. Wilson's mouth, and the camera's from inside the mouth. So, like that's the POV.
Yeah.
I love a uvula POV. So that's
yeah. It's kind of like a first person shooter, right? Except like it's from the mouth.
Yeah, which by the way, they should make that game. But
Ooh,
but
did
yeah,
they?
it's just
Alien versus Predator. I think they did do that.
Follow up.
Oh, did they?
baseball.
Well, similar.
Call it mouthball.
Mouthball. You know, that's what the sport
Mouthball
needs.
2000.
That's right. Oh, no,
The
no,
latest
no. We're
craze
into
on-
2000. It has to be mouthball 3000 now.
So it's like Guilty Gear, you know, where you have like a special move that's really hard to pull off, but it can end the game. So if you catch the ball in your mouth, your team automatically wins. How about that?
Well,
Nice.
as long as there's dental damage, there has to be damage to the teeth where it makes it risky to do.
Right. It's the
Mutant League Mouthball.
Mutant League.
I'm in. Sold right now.
There should be more Mutant
All right.
League games, right? A revival of the Mutant League.
There,
games.
there was. There actually was.
Oh, there was?
I don't think
Okay.
it took off.
I
but-
forget that I don't play games, and you know,
Oh, I know.
you know all about them.
I remember it's kind of sad. One of my unfortunates with HPP, where I think I actually went out and I interviewed the makers of the revival of the game. Like I had to play the game and interview them, ask them questions and stuff. And when it came time to write about it, I was like, I don't. It's one of the rare times where I feel like, as a writer type, I'd have been like, I don't feel drawn to the material. I don't care about football. And I'm like, trying to write this thing up, but I just couldn't do it. It's like, I cannot write about something I don't care about. And it just didn't take.
Yeah, and you haven't been paid for it, and you never will be.
Ever. No, Mega Man 11 I wrote about.
You read about Mega Man. There is a show coming out on Amazon called Hidden Level. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, my brother told me, but he
Yeah.
described it as being a Mega Man show. And I was all excited.
That's all I care about, honestly, but it is multiple franchises that I don't care about, but like stories told in that universe. So that's cool, but the only two I know about and recognize are Mega Man and Pac-Man.
Now, maybe Chris can help me with this because my brother couldn't. I swear I remember hearing that Netflix was also working on specifically a Mega Man show,
Ooh, I would
which
like
meant
that.
that the head level thing is just another Mega Man product that's coming. But
That I don't know. I don't have my ear to the ground on Netflix video game adaptations, I'm sorry to say.
I try not to, but when Mega Man comes up, it shoots across my desk somehow, and then it gets lost in all the papers.
Chris
which is,
Taylor,
I'm
I mean-
remembering.
I thought you were like our Peter Parker of like video game movies. Give me a picture of that Mega Man movie.
No, not at all. I will say I definitely enjoyed many a Saturday morning super fighting robot Mega Man cartoon. So
I watched the cartoon, and yet I can also honestly admit that I wish the cartoon felt more like the opening did. But I did
Right.
watch and record the cartoon. Like I remember, and of course they had the basic tropes that cartoons back then had. Like they had Mega Man, they had Proto Man, they had Roll. But all of Roll's attacks always involved like housekeeping equipment because she never got modified. So I just
vacuum cleaner attack.
like I remember she was like fighting in a. It might be me confusing with a Sailor Moon episode. I don't know, but I swear I remember her fighting like a robot in a salon, and the robot was going
That sounds-
crazy,
it
and she
sounds
vacuumed
right.
its hair off. And I was like, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And why would it work? I don't understand." But I did like the cartoon, and I actually did like how they had like Proto Man, some kind of like a surfer or something. Hey there, bro.
He's very if you would have asked me as a kid, I would have lied and told you I know for a fact that guy is voiced by Christian Slater.
Come on.
But in fact I have no idea, and in fact I need to look that up even.
Yeah, 'cause I know
was
he
like-
was voiced by a prolific voice actor because I've heard that voice in other cartoons.
Yeah,
I
for
just don't know
sure.
who. But I just found it funny how he was supposed to be the older, more mature brother in the franchise, but they made him sound like an immature teenager.
Yeah. I still thought he was. It worked on me. I thought he was cool.
Oh no, I'm not saying he wasn't cool. I'm saying he had like the stereotypical, "Come on, bro, join the winning side, man."
So that's what if this episode is all about gift giving, that's the gift I want. I want an actual like Mega Man movie or new series that's just serious, half serious, Amazon, Netflix produced. Like that would be a lot of fun.
I would watch it.
Even if they retconned some of it and like changed it a little bit, I'd be okay with that. Just play in that universe,
I feel like Mega Man, despite some of the silly robot bosses that they started coming out with later in the series, I feel like it's a serious property. Like if they did a proper adaptation,
something,
it should be serious. Mega Man.
Oh,
is,
it should be serious. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just the concept of the whole thing. It's
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
and then
So
X even more so.
There was like an indie movie or series that was made on YouTube years and years and years ago of a guy just made his own Mega Man show.
Was he a super fighting robot?
It was pretty good. The only thing I didn't like was they got it's the actress who played a role talked with this really high pitched voice, and it was difficult to get through. But the guy that got to play Wily was awesome. He was really cool.
So now I gotta find it. I have to post that in the episode link.
It's probably I gotta look it up. I'll look it up in between episodes here, so we'll watch the entire thing and then we'll keep recording.
But then there is a good question. Then you may have already answered, but just in case you didn't, if you could get a movie adaptation of a franchise, even something that already exists, but you were guaranteed that they would get quality actors, it would be written well, and it would be air quotes your perfect vision of that franchise in cinema format, what would it be?
I gotta think about that. Chris, do you have a response to that?
Yeah, that's a real good question.
Because if it's not Seaman, then I'm sorry.
I was thinking Wrath of the Black Manta on the NES.
Oh wow, like something like Deep Cut. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's a game about a ninja cop, quote unquote, who goes around the city rescuing kids from drug dealers and interrogating bad guys and fighting Tiny, who's like 12 feet tall.
That would be pretty awesome. I would dig that. That would be really cool. Honestly, I mean, I would say like a Final Fantasy adaptation of like one of the storylines. That would be kind of cool.
You say one as if you don't know it's 10.
For me, it's 10, but I know there's others out there that are okay.
But this is your movie. Your movie.
There's 10, and then the other ones are okay.
The rest are down there somewhere, I guess. Swimming in the muck.
The rest I'm sure I played, but can't remember. The Chrono Trigger would be cool. Chrono Trigger would be rad.
Wouldn't
that be fun?
Be good.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. And they can really play. They don't have to stick so closely to the material. They can really play around with time travel and the repercussions of doing this and that. And of course, like a CG frog would be so cool.
I also think it'd be doubly entertaining if they actually did it so that the movie release of it was the true ending. But then when you got it on DVD at home, you could play a cut where it actually had multiple alternate endings that they reached during the movie, and it would just like flash back. Like,
Netflix does that.
ending.
Netflix has done some like choose your own adventure style stuff. Yeah, you can have a whole like the defeat Lavos. Does Lavos destroy the thing?
Oh no, I'm not saying choose because of the nature of the film. I'm saying it would have to be like you don't know which ones they're going to.
Oh, I see.
They just have routes where it's like, wait a minute, they didn't do that in the movie. What's going to happen now? And they get to the thing. Oh man, he's a human again. This is wild.
Or they release different endings in different regions. Like, oh no, you gotta watch it in the UK. They get the real
strategy.
ending over there.
Look, I don't want to chase 15 DVDs. All right, I just want to hear one disc.
I love you talking about physical media.
Absolutely,
if they would ever do that.
Oh,
maybe this is maybe this is what you were implying, but yeah, they did that with the movie Clue.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking of. Clue. Yes.
What did they do with Clue?
They filmed 3 different endings, and they put a different ending across different like prints that they sent out. So when you went to the theater to see Clue, you didn't know who actually done it because it was like one of 3 outcomes.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so when you watch it now, I think if you watch it on Netflix or whatever, like you get to the end,
it does it all 3.
They just show them all in a row, which to me is exhausting. The movie is exhausting. It's so over the top. I know people love that movie and it's like precious to people, but I couldn't get through it. It's so hard.
It's good.
It's all right.
It's got Jane Weedland as a singing telegram girl who gets murdered in 5 seconds.
Oh man, I was just about to say more movies need singing telegram girl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this one has an opening.
But then she dies.
That's what I'm saying. That it has an opening.
Oh, there it is. I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get.
Exactly.
I thought we were losing it, but my screen just turned off. That's okay.
Hooray! That was actually an issue I was dealing with on my work computer. Is a laptop that kept turning itself off, and I finally fixed it today. But it was like an issue that was ongoing for like a week.
I have so years ago my father-in-law was having issues with his laptop, and he said he would turn it on, and then like about 5 minutes later, 6 minutes later, it would just turn off. No matter what he was doing, it would just shut off. And so I said, hey, why don't you bring it over? I'll take a look at it. You know, I'm okay with these things, you know. So I take it home and I plug it in, the same thing happens. And I realize it is hot to the touch. It is burning up. So it's just shutting itself off. So I get a can of air, just blow it out. And I've never seen so much dust and gunk fly out of a laptop in my life.
Oh, yeah.
So they had just done...
Do that when I get home.
You should do that to your consoles especially.
Note to self again, do that with my consoles.
Because if they're sitting on a shelf and they're not going anywhere, they probably are collecting dust at some point, and then they're going to overheat.
Yeah, my GameCube needed to get a dusting because it was not working anymore. But then I dusted it out, and now it does work.
So that's what. So now that I'm in charge of IT at this one company, I make everyone at the end of the year, at some point, bring their laptop to me, and I clean it by hand.
What, do you take a toothbrush over the fan?
It's just about. I blow it out as much as I can, and I wipe the whole thing down, and I clean the keyboard. These things are gross. I wear gloves. But it keeps things running. It keeps it working, and that's all that
Keeps the machine
which saves money, and that's what matters. So, but I do it to my PlayStation because I don't use it enough anymore, and it just collects dust and wherever it is, no matter where it's at.
So what, you blow the air into the system as opposed to sucking dust out of it?
Yeah, well, there's electronics mostly have a airflow path where it blows air through. So you just blow into it and it blows out the other end.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, so I could take it apart and do that. But yeah, I have a vacuum, but the vacuum's not going to be strong enough to pull the dust out.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It is strong enough to pick up, Cheerios off the ground that my son dropped, but that's...
This peach ballads for a woman.
What?
Oh, no, I just went there. I was like,
I'm going to apply Cheerios to my armpits. Is that what we're doing? All right, so our next week's episode is all about... So I say gift giving. Gift giving, where we're going to pick tracks to give to the other hosts. Is that what I told you? I told Chris that.
That is what you told me.
Okay.
But I still kind of said, I don't know. I got 3 tracks to choose, so I had to do a little winger for the third.
Yeah, because there's the bonus round, right?
No. Bonus round's for someone else. I did the dance, okay?
You did your time.
I did the crime, I did the time, and everyone's going to hear the fruits of my labor next week.
I figured like this is the best way to get like the best possible music out of everybody and just to enjoy a holiday show.
I can dig
Yeah,
that.
you dig it. All right.
Because I'll be honest, I've been so like mentally out of touch. So I was glad you were like, I have an idea for a talk. I'm like, oh, thank God.
I know.
Because right now I'm just a zombie.
I know,
don't
yeah.
even know.
Yeah, at work it's been rough, and my son has been going through like a sleep thing. So I'm like, we're getting it. I'm excited to record. I'm super excited to record. It's just lately it's been tough to make time. So, all right. So we'll see you next week. StacyCon 1994.
That's right. 3,000.